I don't have to be alive.
What are you talking about?
I don't have to be alive. I'm not leaving.
You have to leave.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No.
Yes, you
No,
are.
I'm not.
You're wasting your time.
I'm not.
I'm not gonna force you out. I'm not gonna touch you or nothing.
I know you're not. You want to show them this side of our relationship, we're going to show them. We do this all the time. Like, all the time.
Don't.
Yes, we do.
I told you, like, I told you, if I have to ever tweet out something that I'm single, that means it's no looking back because you pushed me there. So it's like,
I don't
you had
care.
too many chances.
I don't care. Delete it. Get your phone, delete the tweet now. Come on, Daddy, delete it.
There is nothing that makes me more suspicious about a person's mental health than a girl who calls her boyfriend daddy. Because normal people don't do that. Normal people also don't laugh like this.
Hurry, end it.
People who are mentally unstable always show certain signs and symptoms. Calling your boyfriend daddy and having a crazy laugh are two red flags. The problem is that the ones who get stuck around crazy people often have no idea of what behavior is appropriate and what behavior is not. That's how these situations start. The two people in this scene are FlightReacts, or Kimani White, and his girlfriend, Andrea. Flight is a 25-year-old Twitch streamer and YouTuber with 3.5 million subscribers, and Andrea is a 20-year-old Twitch partnered streamer / Instagram model. An Instagram model whose photos are so suggestive that I have to censor them or risk being age restricted. That's red flag number 3. Andrea also has an OnlyFans. Red flag number 4. She sounds like excellent relationship material. Let's get into the fun, but first, you guys are never going to believe who sponsored this channel. Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is a free-to-play game that has millions of players, and guess what? They just introduced an entirely new playable faction. Get ready to meet the Shadow Kim. Use my links below to download Raid to your mobile phone or PC. The Shadowkin are shrouded in mystery and come from the furthest reaches of the eastern continent. Only in the past few months have they revealed themselves to the other factions, so come and meet the new arrivals in the game. My favorite is Yoshi the Drunkard. What I like about Raid Shadow Legends is the stunning graphics and the original stories. I also like that there is always something new to do in the game. What's new with Raid? Well, Raid just passed their 2-year anniversary, and the game is bigger and better than ever before. This month, they're releasing a new batch of epic and legendary champions, and they're releasing their second version of Doom Tower. If you want to get a huge head start in Raid, all you have to do is hit the link in the description or scan my QR code, and you'll get your free epic champion, Jotun. You'll also get 100k silver, 50 gems, and 3 ancient shards so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in-game. These rewards are available to new players for the next 30 days, and all this treasure will be waiting for you right here. Once you're in, you can find me in-game under the name TBYS, and if you're fast, you can join my clan. It's all that easy. Just click on the link in the description, and I'll see you in-game. Alright, there's a lot to unpack here with Andrea's abusive behavior. What appears to have happened is that both of them were streaming at the exact same time, and Flight was streaming a song that a friend of his produced. The album cover had some women in bikinis on it, so someone in Andrea's chat lied and said that Flight was looking at pictures of naked women as a troll. Andrea flipped out after this trolling incident and started texting Flight. Flight had decided that he had enough of her behavior, broke off their engagement, and tweeted out that he is single. After that, Andrea goes to his place, bangs on his door, and that's how we got to this situation. Now, before we get too into it, I do want to point out that I am impressed with how aware Flight is of his circumstances.
Here, Fro, just get your stuff, Fro.
No.
I'm not gonna force you. I'm not gonna respectfully, just for real.
No.
I don't know how Flight handles other situations with Andrea, but he handles this one perfectly. Her whole goal is to bait him into doing something violent so she can play victim and get power over him. And he is consciously aware of that.
Some people are gonna be like, Flight, like, why didn't you, like, you know what I'm saying, like, step your game up. Why don't you slap the girl? Why don't you beat that ass?
That's why you're sitting on the bleachers and unsuccessful in life, bro. And mind you guys, like throughout this whole time, you know what I'm saying? Like, no hands was put on her, none of that. She's literally baiting the dog shit out of me to put hands on her, bro. I'm keeping my distance, like I'm posted up on the wall, like I said, like we ain't touched the girl, we ain't do none of that shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm posted up on the wall because that's what she wants me to do. She wants me to bait her to touch her, and it's just not gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just post up here.
Andrea's goal is to push him into doing something violent, which is why she is interrupting his stream and trying to disrupt his ability to earn an income. It's also why she is doing stuff like this.
There's nothing to talk about.
Hurry
like this shit that's
up.
already been pissed me off about.
You've been pissed me off too. Stop putting them in a relationship.
It's not. Stop.
Turn it off.
Nah.
Turn it off.
Let me.
Stop
touching.
This is all bait. She's committing a lesser crime in the hopes that Flight commits a greater crime. Then she can own his entire life. But instead, Flight does the right thing and remains calm. Because here's what would happen if Flight yelled at her or even so much as grabbed her to prevent her from breaking his stuff. She would say, well, all I did was try to mute his microphone so we could talk, and then he started screaming at me, he grabbed my wrist, he yanked me out of the way, he bruised my wrist, and he damaged my shoulder. That was uncalled for. Uncalled for? You're trying to break his equipment. Flight alleges that she was trying to dump water all over his computer and recording equipment when they were off camera, which is probably somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000. Legally, he should be allowed to prevent her from doing that, but realistically, he could go to jail if he so much as damages one of her fingernails while trying to kindly move her away from his stuff. Especially considering that if he does use any force against her, she could leave his apartment, cause herself more harm, and say he was the one who did it. This is how psycho some of these people are, and it's why you don't associate yourself with women like this. So, Andrea starts with banging on Flight's door. She then trespasses by not leaving after she is asked to leave. She moves on to ruin Flight's stream and break his equipment, and then she goes to reputation destruction.
I'm still single, all that.
No, he's not.
Yes, I am.
No, he's not. I promise you, once we're done talking, he's not gonna be single. Mark his words. Like, we do this shit all the time. Like, I don't care if you want to show it to everyone. I don't care.
You don't.
We do worse.
It's too insecure about certain shit.
You're insecure too.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. We're not gonna start. I'm not gonna embarrass you and say all the shit you do like you do to me.
Oh, please. Like she is so above airing out all his dirty laundry for everyone to see. I have seen multiple videos of her attacking his character, and she only said this to make herself look like the better person, so people would say, see, she restrained herself and didn't stoop to his level when they were fighting. The only reason she said those bad things about him later in her stream was because he pushed her to do so. Yeah, right. She was going to say that stuff anyway. Saying that she wasn't going to was just a manipulation game. And if you don't believe me, Andrea said this right before she went to Flight's apartment.
He does this all the time. I'm gonna spill everything he's done to me. Everything he's done to me. I'm gonna tell everybody. I don't care. Everything he's done to me. Like everything. I'm not gonna embarrass you and say all the shit you do like you do to me.
Eventually, the stream gets turned off. After this, Andrea steals his phone and locks herself in the bathroom so she can delete the tweets about him breaking up with her and replace them with tweets saying that he still loves her.
Picture this, bro. Ran into this bathroom, bro. You know what I'm saying? Girls run stupid fast when they got somebody's phone, by the way, bro. You know what I'm saying? Should be a track star, by the way. Went into this bathroom, bro. You know what I'm saying? Locked herself out, bro. And was big. Pretty much, she deleted the single tweet. You know what I'm saying? She put up some more tweets that I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, saying that oh, like we do this all the time off the cameras, which is true, but I did not tweet that shit. She tweeted some other shit, saying that I love this girl Andrea, and honestly, like, which I did. Not anymore. You know what I'm saying? After that whole answer that you pulled off.
At some point, Andrea starts violently screaming, and one of the neighbors calls the police.
If you guys can see this footage right here, I'll pause myself.
Delete it!
Come out.
Delete it!
Delete what?
Your stupid fucking tweet, bitch!
But I don't want to be with you no more.
Delete it!
Stop hitting my shit.
Delete it!
Bro, stop hitting my shit.
Is there a reason why you're screaming? You're gonna break shit?
No.
She girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we talk out here while he talks to her?
After about 5 hours of Andrea doing this, the night ends. Later, the event gets uploaded to YouTube, and Andrea reacts to Flight's response. Here's something I find strange, though. I don't think that liars and abusers fully understand the power of cameras. Everything can be recorded these days, so when you lie, it's really easy to prove you're a liar. Here's Andrea trying to misrepresent the situation.
She comes into the kid's room, and then she starts to kind of, I feel the hostility, you know what I'm saying? I feel the hostility. And mind you guys, like throughout this whole time,
I was not being hostile.
Like,
Really? It wasn't hostile when you banged on his front door super loudly? It wasn't foul play when you lied to him by saying you needed a tampon so he would let you into the apartment? And it wasn't hostile when you screamed at him about his tweet saying he was single?
Delete it.
Delete what?
Your stupid fucking tweet, bitch!
There's video evidence of all of this. Conveniently, Andrea skips over the part where she screams at Flight during her reaction to his video. I wonder why. Then, of course, Andrea takes zero responsibility for her actions and starts blaming Flight for her behavior by saying he treats her poorly, so it's okay if she does it to him.
girl held me hostage for not one, not two, not three, not four, 5 out on the front.
See that voice? That's how he talks to me. He's yelled at me like that multiple times. That's just crazy. Like, it's insane. And like when he talks to me like that, it makes it seem like it's okay for me to talk to him like that. You talk to me like that. And like he was the first one to call me a bitch. Like he's called me that multiple times like in the past. And like when he says things like that, it just makes it seem like it's okay for me to continue to say things like that. Cause like he's just setting that example. He's saying like that's okay. Like he's making it sound like it's okay for me to yell at him, to call him names, to push him around. He makes it seem like that's okay because that's what he does.
The problem with her statements is that she presented no evidence. Flight has also shown behavior on camera that is to the contrary of her statements, and she has established herself as a liar. So I don't know. Flight may yell at her sometimes, but we certainly can't take her word for it because she's a liar. And more importantly, even if that is true, it still doesn't justify her screaming at him when he was trying to de-escalate the situation. Andrea displays a ton of bad behavior, but Flight doesn't use that as an excuse to assault her or yell at her in the breakup video. If he can control his behavior, then I imagine that she can control hers. But the lack of responsibility doesn't end there. Andrea then blames her birth control for her bad behavior.
Mind you this, like, I'm having a hard time, like, trying to control my hormones, my emotions for him, because I have an implant in my arm that's driving me insane. Like, I honestly feel like a person like I've never felt before, and
that is such a convenient excuse for the incredibly abusive behavior she displayed. Oh, you see, I'm on birth control. That's why I started screaming at my ex-boyfriend. That's why I started breaking his stuff, and that's why I tried to bait him into getting thrown into jail. I have no control over my behaviors, and it's all my birth control's fault. Let me break that line of thinking for you, because it turns out that as humans, we have the ability to control our negative behaviors. For example, I really love sugar. I also love soda, and I love junk food. Those foods are highly addictive, but I don't sit around all day shoveling garbage into my mouth, even though I could. I don't because while these foods may taste great, they will eventually cause me health problems down the line. It's possible to control your biological impulses, even if those impulses are very strong. Andrea is not controlling these behaviors because she doesn't want to, which makes her a bad person. It's not because of her birth control. That being said, let's hear one more manipulation tactic from Andrea.
And, I don't wish nothing, like, bad for him. I wish him the best.
No, you don't. You're just saying that to look like the better person. This is a common tactic that manipulative women use when they are losing an argument or they are trying to play things up for the crowd. If you wished him well, then you wouldn't have ruined his stream and tried to break all of his computer equipment. How is he supposed to live his best life after you have just destroyed his means to make a living? Your actions show the direct opposite of wanting the best for him.
Because he knows deep down I'm not scared to, like, turn off his stuff. He knows that. He was waiting for that. As much as he wants to say, like, that's not true. Like, I know it is. Like, I know this man. He knew I was going to do that, and that's why. He just wants to make me look bad.
This is all about her and how people perceive her. I can't see why she wants to hold on to this relationship so much. If he treats her so poorly off camera and things aren't working out, then she should be glad to get rid of him. Or could it be that she is fighting so hard for this relationship because Flight has 3.5 million subscribers and his fame is financially beneficial to her?
I'm not crazy. I'm honestly a really nice person. You gotta push him to a certain limit to act like that, and just know that.
Yeah, I can see that. Now there's one more part of this story left. During her rebuttals, Andrea insists on saying this.
I'm still single, all that.
No, he's not.
Yes, I am.
No, he's not. I promise you, once we're done talking, he's not gonna be single. Mark his words.
Well, it turns out that she was right. Flight waited about 5 seconds to come crawling back to his abusive ex-girlfriend.
But if you guys are wondering, are me and Andrea, you know what I'm saying, back together? The question is, yes, we're working shit out, you know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do about it? I don't give a if you lost respect, if you don't look at me, you know, I don't give a because you're a fucking nobody to begin with, you know what I'm saying? And you're already sitting on the bleachers.
It doesn't stop there. It gets worse. Listen to this.
Andrea makes me happy. That girl's my fiance. I'm gonna marry the shit out of her one day. I'm gonna give her like 3 to 4 kids, and if she's watching this, I just wanna let you know, Andrea, you're my baby and I love the dog shit out of you. You're my baby and you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You're stuck with me.
What in the hell? Are you insane? Do not have kids with this chick. Andrea would make a horrible mother. She treats you like garbage, but that's okay because you say she has never cheated on you. I mean, how low are your standards? There are plenty of women out there who don't cheat, who are also terrible relationship material. Not to say that Flight would do any better as a parent of 3 or 4 kids. He already has a daughter from another girl, and he brought this crazy chick around his kid. And oh my God, Flight takes a giant dump on the people who are just trying to warn him about how toxic Andrea is by calling them losers. It's no wonder this video has a ton of dislikes on it. Even better, Flight doubles down and blames Andrea's complete overreaction on internet trolls.
Because at the end of the day, look, this was started from the trolls. You guys were in her chat.
Okay, so you deserve this chick. If you're going to simp for an abusive woman after people have already warned you, then I have no sympathy. Keep in mind that this simp just displayed to his 3.5 million followers that a woman can get away with this kind of abusive behavior and still get everything she wants. Way to set an example by showing that it's not just the abusive women who are the problem, but it's also all of these simps who enable that behavior. I was shocked when I saw this because I could not believe that someone who had enough self-control to not do anything stupid while she was baiting him would put himself right back into this situation. I guess Flight will have to learn the hard way after she ruins his life.
You just can't turn a hoe into a housewife. And like I said, Andrea's neither of those, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe he's unaware that she has an OnlyFans. This situation reminds me of something that I learned from astrology. Back in the day, astrology was how people described psychological archetypes before modern psychology. Now, I don't believe you can predict the future or someone's personality by looking at their astrological chart. However, astrological symbols are used all of the time, so I spent a while studying it a bunch of years ago so I could learn what messages people were trying to convey. One of those symbolic figures is the god or the planet Saturn. Saturn is the god of time and judgment. If you are reading someone's astrological chart and Saturn is doing something important, then he is there to teach you a lesson. The way he does that is through suffering, and Saturn does not care how much suffering you have to go through to learn that lesson. You can learn the easy way by handling your issues as soon as they come up, or if you refuse to listen, Saturn will destroy your entire life until you learn what he's trying to teach you. The god of judgment has no sympathy. This is great psychology from our ancestors because it does 2 major things. The first thing it does is it teaches us to embrace our mistakes and our suffering so we can learn from those things instead of avoiding them. Some of our most powerful lessons can come from bad things that have happened to us and mistakes that we've made. It's best to pay attention to those things instead of ignoring them. The second thing that the symbology of Saturn does is it points out that people with psychological issues like, say, alcoholism, don't get better unless they suffer as a result of their disease, which is a big problem because most of the time, people in that person's circle will alleviate the alcoholic's suffering because they feel bad. And that's the primary reason why a lot of alcoholics never get better. If you want that person to actually get treatment, then you have to let them ruin their lives. It might mean they lose their job. They might have to destroy all of their relationships. They might go homeless. They might lose a limb or cripple themselves in some way. It has to get really bad or these people will not change. You never offer people like this help unless they agree to treatment or you will just make them worse. So, someone like Flight is probably going to have to suffer a little more until he learns. Who knows? Andrea might get better at pushing his buttons, and one day he winds up in jail for domestic violence. If he plays the game long enough, eventually she will get the best of him. Can't say we didn't warn you. People tried to warn you, and you called them losers. He is going to have to learn that when you invite crazy people into your life, you don't make them better. They just end up bringing you down with them. It's like trying to cure a person who has the flu by putting them around a bunch of healthy people. The healthy people don't cure the person who has the flu, they just end up getting sick, which is why in general, you should cut these people out of your life unless they start improving their behavior. As for Flight, I guess we'll see what happens. But with that said, I think that's enough for this video. So if you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, comment and share. If you would like to support this channel, then you can do so with PayPal, Patreon, or Subscribestar. You can find all of those links in the description. Last, don't forget to check me out on Bitchute, Odysee, Minds, and Parler. You can also find those links in the description. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.